What's going on, everybody? Uh, can't believe the day's finally here. Over 100 days, right, dude?
Yeah, too many days.
Over 100 and something days since we last saw live soccer in the U.S. We get the ball rolling in a couple of like in an hour and a couple of minutes.
I can't wait, Pedro. You have no idea.
No, I can't because I have an idea because you wouldn't stop talking about it today.
Yeah.
And then to get you really riled up, I sent a photo of a polo, a Miami polo and an Orlando polo. It's like, hey, which one should I wear? I never seen someone get so triggered.
Please notice how he's wearing the Inter Miami jacket or the shirt. Trust me, I'm not letting him wear any Orlando around.
It was just so funny. He got so triggered. Like, no.
I had to make sure we were doing it right in South Florida. So
yeah. So this is gonna be the first of many, hopefully, pregame shows with us with 90 Minutes Strong, powered by Fiverr and Sports. We're just going to come in for maybe 20, 30 minutes, give or take, and just give you guys the lowdown on the game coming up. Today, obviously, it's against Orlando City, the most anticipated game, I'd say, in South Florida history since, I don't know, maybe 2-3 years. Okay, since Orlando came into play.
Yeah, I don't think soccer has had a game like this in South Florida, and I mean, no strikers game was hyped up like this. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
and, I mean, I don't know how. I'm too young. I have no idea how big the Fusion were back in the day, but this is definitely the most hyped major soccer game in South Florida history, I think. Other than the first game.
I mean, yeah, for sure. And it's all Orlando's fault too, because when Miami was announced as a team, they already started poking fun, not even when they were a team. So they kind of brought this upon themselves at this point, and I don't feel bad.
I don't. They've never made the playoffs. I'm just gonna.
They've never made the playoffs.
That's
true.
We were being, thrashed because it's the stadium's in Fort Lauderdale and all of these things, but trust me, our fans do it better, and hopefully our team does it better at 8:00.
But yeah, so 8:00 tonight, it goes down. First game of the MLS is Back tournament, which is coming to start. It's going to start, even though there's a lot of things, I guess we can say, there are happening at the same time. But I don't know. What do you think? The biggest thing probably that we know right now is that FC Dallas has withdrawn from the tournament because of the high COVID-19 cases, right?
Yeah, it was over 10 cases, or I think it was 10 players or maybe 12 players with a couple of staff members. Pretty insane. And they were already in Orlando.
Yeah.
And they got the testing done in Orlando, and when they were tested positive, they found out in Orlando. So I think they were there for about 6 or 7 days before in the bubble before they were, before they left.
But they're still there.
Are they still there?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
They're still quarantined in the bubble.
Yeah. Well, that... we won't talk about that aspect of it. We'll talk about what it means for the actual tournament, though.
Yeah, what is it like? To me, it just puts a wrench in the plans of this tournament because now you're gonna have to scramble around the team, the groups to figure this out, and that might not even be the final, team leaving. At this point, there talks about Nashville with so many cases already, confirmed. Not more, 5 more, I think, the last day or so. So they're also, in question. They postponed their game that was supposed to be played tonight after Inter Miami, and so it's going to be an interesting couple of days to see how this whole thing gets handled for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so FC Dallas is in Group B.
Yeah.
It was a Western Conference group. Group A is the Eastern Conference group. Now, there was already so much controversy around them having a 6-team group.
Yeah.
Logically, it was like, okay, let's move a Group A team into Group B. I mean, I don't know. It almost makes too much sense for Nashville to end up going into Group B because they're a Western Conference team to begin with, so they'd have to play those games no matter what. Because we have to remember, the first 3 group stage games are going to count towards the 2020 regular season standings.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which is important,
which is huge for each game.
This could be a historic day for Miami. Period. First win.
Yes.
First game in the MLS is Back tournament.
Oh yeah.
First, hopefully, butt whooping against the guys up north.
Yeah, we take a positive record in the derby. I guess I don't know what are we gonna call it?
The Mickey Mouse Derby.
I know there was like the
Turnpike
Classico.
The Turnpike. It would make sense because they have. Yeah, it would make sense to be called the Turnpike. Let's just dub it the Turnpike Classico because we change things and make things in the U.S. Spanish, so the Turnpike Classico, I guess. But no, it's gonna be a big game.
So, and then when it comes to Dallas withdrawing from the tournament, when are they going to be able to make up those 3 games? Because they're supposed to have those 3 games count towards the 2020 regular season standings.
Yeah,
and they want to start the 2020 season after the tournament's over.
Yeah.
How are they going to fit in those games? Are they just going to throw a bunch of midweek games in, or
my friend? I think you're assuming we're going to go back to regular MLS season after this.
I'm trying to. That's what I'm assuming. I don't think it's smart, but here we are today.
Cases going up, but we're celebrating a game happening, which is exciting. It's let's not take anything away from it. It's a very exciting time. Yeah. Unfortunately, from what I could tell on the Inter Miami Twitter, they're going to be using their white uniforms.
I did see that,
which makes me very sad and upset.
And 2
new sponsors.
You saw that, right? Baptist Healthy Coca-Cola, I think it was.
Yeah, Baptist Healthy New Coca-Cola. I don't know if that's a Disney thing. I don't know if they're all going to be Coca-Cola.
Okay,
but the Baptist Health for sure is a new sponsor that Miami got, and I don't know about Coca-Cola, actually. I saw that and I was interested about it too, and I haven't heard anything.
I didn't see that they had signed anything with Coca-Cola. It probably is some kind of Disney thing, but
yeah, I don't doubt that Coca-Cola is sponsoring the Disney Cup.
The Mickey Mouse Cup.
Sorry, whatever it's called. Disney Cup, Mickey Mouse Cup, Orlando Cup.
I always said Mickey Mouse Cup because I know that's what you like to call it. So
the Mickey Mouse Cup. That's right. Definitely Coca-Cola is sponsoring the Mickey Mouse Cup. 100%. They have to be.
Have to be.
So the game comes on at 8 p.m. on ESPN. Just literally turn your TV on to ESPN. If you don't have that, go to the app. Right, it's going to be
And I think if you're in Canada, which I don't know if any of our listeners are, I think on TSN it should be on there.
Yes.
All of the any major sports channel, and I don't know if it's on a local channel. I got to be honest with you.
No, it won't be in a. I don't think it's a local.
It'll be blacked out, right? Yeah, okay, that makes
blacked out.
Well,
the whole thing.
Wow, you have no idea. So let's we put out a Twitter poll on our 90 Minute Strong Twitter page. Make sure you go follow that.
It's right there on the bottom of the screen if you haven't followed yet.
Yes, right down there. Talking about our predictions for the game and a potential starting spot in the team. So I'm gonna get your thoughts on this because I know I've had you do a little bit of research. I know you've had to research some of the players.
Yeah.
Dylan Nealis, Alvis Powell at right back, or do you want to go with your boy AJ De La Garza to start off?
AJ De La Garza all day. Okay. I'm excited for the lineup to come out in a couple of minutes, and we see my boy AJ in there, even though he might not be.
I don't know if he will. I've got to be honest with you. I don't know if he will be. For your sake, I hope so. I hope he plays well.
I highly doubt he's going to be on there. 100%.
So I put on the poll Nealis or Powell, and we had an overwhelming Nealis to be the starter. He didn't start in the first game. That was Powell. He started in the second game against DC. He showed out a little bit. He was in a 5 in the back formation, so he's playing really wide. And like I talked about in a past show, he was basically playing on the line. He was playing super far out wide. We have a little bit of a center back issue. No Gonzalez Pyrrhus, no Torres. So Figal is going to be in there probably with Andres Reyes. We don't know, but I don't know if we have the center back depth in order to run a 5 at the back. I know De La Garza has some experience at center back, so maybe he's thrown in a 5 in the back if Alonso likes it that much. That could be a possibility.
Yeah, didn't we just sign Breck Shea?
Yeah, we did sign Breck Shea.
Why are we talking about Breck Shea?
Okay.
Is he still hurt? That's the biggest question.
No, he was training.
He's training, right?
He's training. I think he's fine. I just don't know. One thing that confused me, we'll get into that, but why is Pyrrhus ineligible to play and Brek Shea is not?
Good question.
I don't even know if the MLS has a reasonable answer to that. I know McDonough was very he was not happy with the MLS's response to why Pyrrhus isn't eligible for this tournament.
Maybe MLS experience. I'm just gonna go off on a limb.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming from an international club, maybe, but he's training with us. Has
he played in MLS before? I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
Because always Pyrrhus, yeah. He was a MLS Defender of the Year.
Then that makes no sense.
So I
just thought that maybe he was a newcomer to the league. That makes no sense.
Was huge. He was one of the best center backs in the league when he played for Atlanta. He won the Defender of the Year award. He's multiple All-Star games.
The guy that we just signed. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm bad with names. It takes me a hot minute to understand. Yeah. I'm gonna go off on a limb and say it's because it was so early. It was so late in the season. It was so late that they signed him.
What about Brek Shea? That's where I'm confused.
That's the thing. I really strongly believe Brek Shea was already signed to the team before, and they just announced it. Yes, and they announced him later. Okay. But I think he was already signed to the team before. And if you're just listening, I did quotations, air quotations.
Signed, yeah.
I think your dog agrees.
My dog agrees. My dog agrees fully.
See? Okay, my dog will agree soon too.
That makes a lot of sense. We'll have to we'll see about that. But
that's the thing. That's the most logical thing for me. Because he's a new signing, and Brek, I really think
that he was
already signed.
Part of the roster because Fort Lauderdale FC or CF
Inter Miami.
Yeah, that would make sense. I really wish Pyrrhus could be playing. I think
it'd be so much better.
It'd be that pairing would be best in MLS, arguably, with the way Figal's played and Pyrrhus. We know how good he is, and he's only 28 years old. I mean, that is a pairing that you love to see because I'm very before I, got super into MLS and when Inter Miami got here, I was very critical of MLS defenses. Mm-hmm. And watching Figal play, I was like, man, this guy is he's unbelievable. And signing an international talent like that, I think is huge to building a roster.
Yeah.
I think it was definitely our best signing in terms of the impact on the overall team. Mm-hmm. It makes us super solid. And we obviously have Robles, one of the best keepers in MLS, in the back as well.
Yeah.
So it gives supporters a lot of confidence knowing that we're probably not going to concede a lot of goals. Pyrrhus was playing. Pyrrhus, Figal, and Robles. One of the best defenses in MLS for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't doubt by any means of the imagination that somehow Miami gets able to bring him in before the end of the tournament.
I would like that.
I feel like they're probably just trying to figure out how to make that happen. It's one of those weird things. It's one of the weird MLS rules that exist that sometimes doesn't make any sense.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah, this is one of them.
There is so many of those rules. MLS is so confusing, and even if our sporting director doesn't even know why it's happening, that tells you enough.
That's exactly right. If the sporting director doesn't know, for sure, guys. It's 7:00.
We're waiting for the lineup.
We're waiting for the lineup to come out. But before the lineup comes out, and if you guys have any questions, any comments, drop them below. If you're watching on Periscope or YouTube, just let us know your thoughts. If you have any questions about the team, we would love to be there or be here to help you out learning more about the team for sure. But Austin, I don't know, man. I would just if I was the coach, I probably would start Brek Shea.
Oh God, I don't know.
Here's why. Brek Shea has a bone to pick with Orlando because people in Orlando don't expect him to play well. So he comes out there and goes, "Hey, I'm gonna ball out." Who knows?
I think that it's not unreasonable for him to come on as a sub. I think Ben Sweat's, in his older age, and his start at left back, I think, is already set in stone. He's one of the guys that you automatically throw in the starting 11. But listen, if Brek Shea gets some minutes today, you will have a bone to pick with me at the post-game show that we'll do later.
we have the greatest comment ever right now.
Oh God,
100% agree that Breck Shea will turn into Gareth Bale if he already is not Gareth Bale. I'm telling you, I agree.
Oh.
I agree. Is it Chris or CR7 Billa?
Billy. His name is Billy. I know him
Billy,
personally outside of this.
You are the smartest man alive. You figured it out. Gareth Bale is actually Breck Shea.
Okay, well,
I don't doubt it. I don't
like golf as much too.
I don't know. Breck Shea is a funny guy though. I remember running into him one time at a Orlando game. He was just so confused at what was going on.
Listen, I'm rooting for Breck Shea, okay? I am. I think he's phenomenal. I loved what he used to do with the national team. I know he's a good MLS player, and the injuries definitely sucked. But I am rooting for him. I just don't know if today is the day.
I don't think today will be the day either. It's just one of those like, who knows? Maybe anything's possible in this new tournament that some coaches don't even want to be part of. I read some tweet a tweet a couple hours ago. How the Toronto medical staff was trying to beg the team not to go to the tournament.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's one of these things that it's like a bitter sweet moment in like, oh yeah, we're back. It's like we're the first quote unquote men's professional team back in a bubble, but at the same time at what cost? So I think none of those questions are going to come up during the game, but afterwards, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I don't know. Another thing too, the Miami Heat actually just arrived in Orlando as well. There's trouble. There's a lot of people in Orlando, and there's going to be more coming. I know that there's
a lot of people in Orlando.
A couple teams were just arriving as soon as 2 or 3 days ago in Orlando, getting ready for these games. I'm shocked to see that people waited that long. I think Inter Miami was supposed to be there earlier as well, but they arrived late.
Yeah.
But this whole COVID situation, I just hope it for the best safety and health for all of the players, Inter Miami, MLS staff, any news people that are there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's scary, but we're getting football, so
we'll see what happens.
You take what you could get, but
you see what happens now. But that's for sure. You had another Twitter poll that you threw out today. Like you've been very active lately on the 90 Minutes Strong account.
You guys should definitely, if you're super, into it like we are, go check out 90 Minutes Strong because we are posting all of the time. I'm going to be live tweeting throughout the game as well.
Yes,
you can get my thoughts on it. But yeah, we did post 2 polls. We posted the Niels poll, and then 2 days ago we posted a poll talking about predictions. Now, before I talk about the results, before the lineups come out, Pedro, what's yours?
I want to say it's going to be a 1-1 draw.
Okay, and if AJ De La Garza and Breck Shea play?
10-0. 100%. There's not even a question in my mind.
Okay.
10-0. Big boy Breck is going to stop everything coming through his side. AJ's going to be like, look at me, I'm the captain now. 10-0. No, but for real, I think 1-1 might be the most realistic. Because, again, they're not all – yeah, they're training, but they're not – they haven't played a professional game in a while. So,
oh my God, yeah.
If you remember what – yeah.
Orlando, we have no idea.
Exactly. And if you remember I don't know if you followed a little bit of soccer when it actually came back, but when the Bundesliga came back, the first game, that was atrocious to watch.
Terrible. Slow play. And same thing with the Premier League.
Yes.
Super slow play. A lot of people cramping up.
So if MLS already has the joke saying that it's a slow league, now add this to it, I don't see it being like a high-scoring, exciting game. It might be a 1-1, which would be exciting. But I don't see it being super like, because the funny part is Miami was supposed to play Orlando on Friday in regular season.
Yeah.
And if my memory serves correctly, which not always, but sometimes, if I'm remembering correctly, it would have been the first game they're playing. So that would have been a huge game too.
Yeah, it would have been their first game against each other. Yeah,
that now
would
come
be
to think of
the same
it.
time.
Which now comes to think of it, makes more sense why they put Miami playing Orlando on Wednesday.
Well, I think they need the TV ratings.
Yeah, right. But that makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that game, if the world was normal and that game was playing, that would have been an exciting 2-1, 3-1, 3-2.
Especially whatever. Because we would have so much time to develop this roster, build the identity, like we talked about last show. We don't know if we have the identity yet. We don't have that. So making a prediction is tough.
Yes. That's why I'm going the safe route, going 1-1. Because I can see like a Pizarro scoring a goal and then Orlando coming back and tying it up.
Yeah,
I see that happening. I'm not going to go, oh yeah, Pizarro hat trick right now. I don't know.
I'm excited to see if Nani or Dwyer will get into the starting lineup too. We're still waiting on those. Haven't gotten them yet. But anyway, the Twitter poll.
Wait. No. What's your prediction? Don't come at me like that and then go, let's go to the Twitter poll.
Give me 2-0 Inter Miami.
2-0?
2-0.
Oh man.
Yo, I don't think Orlando's gonna score.
Billy knows what's up. Billy says predict a 1-1, pray for a 4-0.
Fair enough.
Michael on YouTube says, how are you guys doing? So I'm good, I guess.
I'm great. I'm
not in Orlando, so I'm great.
Yeah. I had someone ask me, hey, if you're in Orlando, please stay safe. I was like, listen, even if I had the chance to go to Orlando, I'm not going.
Yeah, I kind of said that the other day at lunch. I was like, let's say you go to the ocean, right? And you cut your like hand, you're not jumping into the water full of sharks, right?
Yeah.
So I am not going to go to where, like, even if they said, hey, I need you here, you're gonna cover this, you're gonna be the only person covering Inter Miami, you're gonna have exclusive interviews with David Beckham. I'd be like, that's great, but
I don't know if
I'm not gonna go. Thanks though. Do you Zoom? I'll Zoom it.
I'll Zoom, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
set it up for David Beckham.
So 2-0 prediction you have?
2-0 for me. And when it comes to our fans over on the 90 Minutes Strong Twitter page, 18% of people said that we were going to lose. Not happy with that.
We're realists, let's be honest.
27% of people said we were going to draw.
They're like me.
Another 18% of people said we're going to win by 1.
Okay.
And 37% of people say we're going to win by 2 or more goals.
Now, how many Twitters do you have, and how many times have you voted?
Me personally, just one. Listen, just just once, okay? Just once.
Austin made.
I won't tell you what I put.
Austin made 20 Twitters just to make this poll. Randomly got a 20 follows on Twitter right now for 90 Minutes Strong. It's all Austin's accounts.
Stop that. No.
So how many percent?
37% of people said we're going to win by 2 or more goals.
Wow.
Yeah.
These are the optimistic people you want in your life.
What are the odds of winning tonight? What a good time to come in.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, odds, not ads. Odds.
Ads.
Sorry. Is it David Villa talking to us?
Imagine.
Oh, man.
No, listen, we're going to win tonight, okay? We are going to win. I hope. I'm really, really anxious about this starting lineup. I really hope Alonso doesn't pull something crazy here, but we should talk about the striker.
Hold on. The odds, though. Okay. The odds, the way you said this was the odds are very high. The odds to me are 50-50.
No, we're going to win.
You can win or you can lose.
No, you're right. I mean, I would give us reasonably, I would say 99%, but I will be smart about it.
99%?
No, I'll give us I think that we have a better chance of beating Orlando. I've got to be honest with you. I just think that we are the stronger team. All these variables aside, I think that we're the stronger team.
Yeah.
With more talented players.
Listen, let's put it this way. Miami has made 0 playoff appearances. Orlando has made 0 playoff appearances.
But we've only played 2 games.
That's the point. So we're like right there with them. You want to come at us?
Yeah, hey. I don't know. I 55-45. There you go.
Yeah, I don't think it's as high as people think it is right now.
No, I think it'll be a lot.
Wait a couple of minutes, so it could change.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I'll be a little more worried if Nani is in the starting lineup because we haven't seen what he can do. He's had a crazy rest. He's a little older. He can always produce magic. Was a world-class player at one point. So if not, he's
Dwyer scores when he wants to. So
that's true, and we haven't seen him either. So the only person that we've really seen shine on the offensive side for Orlando is Chris Mueller. But even then, it's like I don't think that that's enough, especially with I think that our defense is just so solid. I know we conceded 2 goals against DC, but we know that those were fluke goals. One was a stupid penalty, and one was a rebound off a free kick. And then if it wasn't for Carlos Vela's magic, we honestly would have a point there at least. It'd be a 0-0 game.
Yes.
We could have walked away those first 2 games with 4 points, Pedro. In all honesty,
yeah,
we could have tied in LA and we could have won in DC. But after Lewis Morgan goes up 2-0, it gets called back because of a Torres handball. He gets a red card, then there's a penalty, and then there's a free kick, and boom, we lose 2-1. And it was just as quick as that, too, even sitting in the stands. We could have come away with 4 points from these 2 games. Unfortunately, it's 0, but that is the footballing gods just raining down on you. Nothing's ever going to go easy. And with all the adversity Inter Miami has faced, maybe that's, prepared them for this moment. There's been so much adversity, so many variables, so many unknowns, and that's the life of being an expansion team. So those first 2 games, we've kind of already done this. It's the last time we played, it was just like this.
Yeah, it's important to put some numbers into this as well. I'm looking at the season stats. Obviously, 2 games a season, right? Whatever. But 2 games played. Both teams have not won a game yet, so this is going to be a big game for that as well, because Miami has lost 2, as we just mentioned. Orlando drew 1 and lost the other. Orlando has conceded 2 goals, but Miami has done more shots than Orlando, which is interesting to talk about. Orlando has only had 17 shots. Miami has had 25. Miami shots on goal are also a lot higher than Orlando, so you could kind of see why we were kind of talking a little bit about the forwards.
We play a more attacking style, and I think that just is straight because of Diego Alonso and the players that McDonough has brought in. We have a much more attacking style, pretty style of football, but when it comes to Orlando, it's the more physical, hold the ball in the midfield kind of.
We have lineups, by the way.
We do have lineups.
MLS threw out the lineups from what I could tell in the preview. Oh no, it might be a preview. But it's the projected lineup. My bad. Ignore what I just said.
Okay, well, I mean, we could talk about the projected lineups.
Projected lineups for Orlando or Miami first?
Let's go with Orlando.
Dwyer up top.
Wow. Okay.
Nani, Pyrrhus, and Mueller. And then you got Mendez and Urso in the middle, sort of kind of thing.
Moutinho.
Moutinho is in the back 4. Moutinho, Jensen.
Okay, yeah.
At left, yeah. Moutinho's at the left. Jensen, Antonio Carlos, and Juan, and then Galezi. I don't even know his name.
Yeah. Okay. That's. I mean, if Mueller, Nani, and Dwyer start, we are going to have to be careful. I don't know what they're
again. It's important to note that's projected.
But if they all three, if that can be the front 3, Nani on the left, I would assume Dwyer up top and then Mueller over onto the right, or maybe Nani playing in behind. Pizarro not starting. Thoughts? Is that factual? I don't think Pizarro. I haven't seen any lineups yet. Yeah, Coach Manda just asked Pizarro not starting. If Pizarro's not starting, I will be very upset.
I don't know if he's starting. The projected lineup for
show me the projected. Yeah, show me the projected.
It's Carrazza up top.
I would love that.
Pellegrini on the left, Morgan on the right. Oh, he saw it on TV, so maybe the lineups are out.
Wow. Okay.
Then we got Morgan on the right. So wait, before we even get there, I'm gonna go find that. I'm gonna find that first. I don't want to say something that's not true.
Okay, I have the lineup. I have the lineup
for Miami.
For Miami, Ian, our boy Ian Hess just tweeted it out.
All right, Ian, let's go.
Oh wow, this is not what I expected. Okay, ready? Robles at goalie, at the goalkeeping spot. Ben Sweat, Nico Figal, Andres Reyes, Mikey Ambrose. No Breck Shea, no De La Garza, and no Ben Sweat. Ambrose is starting in the back. Ulloa and Trapp in the midfield. Oh, Nealis is starting. So maybe Ambrose is going to play in that center back spot. So he's going to stay with the 5 in the back. It'll be Ambrose over Lillard at the center back spot. He will stay with 5 in the back. Trapp and Ulloa will be in the midfield. Pellegrini, Agudelo, and Morgan. No Carranza, no Pizarro.
Interesting.
Pellegrini.
Again, I don't see that. But if that's what Ian's saying, I trust Ian.
I do. I mean,
but I haven't seen that, and I'm looking at MLS. At the game thing. So if I haven't seen that, but
I've got to be honest with you, I'm not happy with this.
I don't doubt it.
Listen, Diego Alonso, I have backed you from the moment you were signed, but I don't understand why you would not have Pizarro playing. I understand Carranza not playing. That's fine. I was a big advocate for Carranza to start up top.
Yeah,
but Agudelo makes sense, even though he came on as a sub twice and played terrible twice. Mm-hmm. Very critical of him. Pellegrini gets tired really quickly. I don't know how he's going to do in the heat. I got to be honest with you. In preseason, shout out to Peter Brown. I know that he went to one of the Tampa Bay Rowdies games and he saw Pellegrini and he was like, this guy is just getting red in the face in like 2 seconds. Like he's extremely tired, got subbed off, and he was subbed off in the first game, and then the second game he came on as a sub. He's not lasting 90 minutes. That will be a potential sub, Pellegrini for Pizarro.
Yes, Pizarro. I mean, obviously Pizarro's gonna play.
So
it's probably here's what I think is going on. I think it goes back to what we were talking about, and players not being yet ready to play, and so maybe Pizarro is one of those guys that he doesn't want to get hurt, and so you're putting him in later in the game to get him back into match fitness, which could be completely okay. Because I don't expect, like we just mentioned maybe 20 minutes ago, I don't know, or 10 minutes ago, I don't expect, to be this amazing, crazy game. So maybe he's being smart and holding off on probably one of the better players we have up front for the rest of the tournament. Because don't forget, this tournament's very meaningful. The winner of this tournament gets a spot in the CONCACAF Champions League.
Which I will say that for me, the U.S. Open Cup was a huge goal personally for me that I thought Miami should shoot for. I don't think that winning the league was a realistic possibility, but winning a U.S. Open Cup is something that any team can win. Mm-hmm. And yes, we're new, but that was something that I wanted to do because I wanted to get into a CONCACAF Champions League spot as soon as possible. This can give that to us. Yeah. I'm very critical about Pizarro not starting because this, for me, is the must-win game of the tournament for us. Give or take, it's the first game, it's the third game. Starting off, you have to win this game. You have to start off the tournament with 3 points. You have to get that first win in order to have a way better chance of moving on to the knockout stages if that's what we want to do. If we want to win, Pizarro has to be on the pitch. Mm-hmm. I don't understand. I don't know. I want to see that Orlando lineup. I cannot say that I am extremely happy about this. Honestly.
Someone's really ticked.
It doesn't make sense to me. I have to.
You're good. Yeah, we're sometimes when we're not talking, guys, it's because literally things are happening as we speak, and so we're just trying to make sure we get the correct things to you guys, so we don't sound silly. So I appreciate Kill Bill 606 Gaming. Oh no, not Bill. No, Coach Mando talking about Pizarro not starting because we had not seen that yet. So once he said that,
thank you, Coach Rado or Coach Mando for sure.
It's good. I haven't seen anything else. I haven't seen Orlando post anything or tweet anything. So it just really depends now on it's on all the waiting time.
Oh man, I don't see the only goal scoring threat.
I do think Dwyer's playing.
Okay.
Because Sidney LaRue tweeted out 6 minutes ago, ready to cheer on daddy in their dreams. Because I already put them to bed and put a photo of their kids. She goes, let's go, Dom Dwyer. So I do think Dom Dwyer is playing.
I'm not worried about the defense at all. I'm fine with that. I think we have a way better midfield as well. I'm just worried about our goal scoring threat. That's it. I don't think Agudelo is the all-star Agudelo we saw a couple years ago in MLS with, I think, the Revolution. Mm-hmm. He's not that. He's not that at all. As much as I admire him for what he's done, his 2 performances as a sub was not appealing. Mm-hmm. Morgan, for me, has been one of my favorite players to watch in the side. He was someone I was very high on coming in from Celtic. He's the goal-scoring threat in this team, hands down. And he's going to have to put on quite the performance. I want to see greatness from Pellegrini, but we didn't get to see it in the first 2 games. He is our first DP, but he's young. He's like 19 or 20 years old, coming from Argentina and playing on the left. He won't play 90 minutes. I know that for a fact. There's no way Pellegrini plays 90 minutes, but Morgan will, and Morgan's going to have to do what Lewis Morgan does. He is very good on the ball. He can threaten defenders, run at you one-on-one, but he also loves a long shot every now and then. If he sees any kind of space, right or left foot, he's putting it on target. Yeah. So that is going to be something to look forward to. Agudelo is quite tall as well, so maybe you see a lot of crosses into the box. We're playing that wide 5 in the back formation. Look for Sweat and Nealis to be on the wings all the way out to the line. That's exactly what happened in DC, and it worked phenomenally. Yeah. Granted, we had Torres instead of Ambrose, so we'll see.
Another thing I saw earlier today, a couple days ago. Oh no, it's today, that Nani will probably play because he's done serving his suspension. So again, that projected lineup I spoke earlier on Orlando's side could potentially be its lineup. We just haven't got any confirmation. We have a question on Twitter. I don't know if you see it. It's right there. Realistically, where do you guys see Inter finishing in this group? There's 2 different school of thoughts for this.
Well, I have a realistic thought and what I want to happen, I promise.
You do? Okay. Well, my realistic thought is they don't win the group. They come in second.
I was going to say third.
Really?
I was going to give Philly and New York City New York City first and second, and then us finishing third. MLS announced after the tournament had already been announced and how they were going to structure it, that they restructured it into that the first, second, and third place teams in Group A will be put into the knockout stages. Originally, it was just the first 2, and then you would have 4 or 5 people battling for the best third place team over the groups. But now the fourth place team has a chance to get in, depending on their point totals and goals. The goal differential total. I do see Inter Miami finishing third place in the group.
Also, it's important. It's interesting to note on Twitter. It says the game is canceled.
Game is canceled.
It says, like, you know how they have on the top, like, upcoming games and things. You click on it. It says Miami Orlando canceled. Does Twitter know something we don't know?
I hope not.
Maybe that's why we haven't gotten could that be why we haven't gotten anything yet?
Here's the thing with that. I
haven't seen anybody tweet anything. Orlando just tweeted 14 seconds ago a bunch of photos saying it's been minutes since we played here. That's it. They haven't talked about lineups.
Well, MLS tweeted the countdown begins 2 minutes ago, but there are multiple people in the comments. Hopefully this works out. Why does it say canceled? Where are the lineups? Lineups question mark.
That's what I'm saying. So this lineup isn't out yet. I don't know. I don't know where Ian got his lineup from. So Ian, if you're listening, let us know where you got your lineup from. Please, because no one else sees the lineup. Everyone's asking for a lineup.
The sporting director's on live TV chatting like it's on. Do you know what channel that is? Is that on a local channel? Yeah.
No, you know what that is? That's on the Inter Miami thing.
Line up on My 33 from the sporting director. As sporting director, as in Paul McDonough, I would assume.
Yes.
Let me see. Give me 1 second.
Do your thing. Yeah, no, he's gonna find it. while he's going over there, we're just gonna sit here. So if you guys have any more questions out there, put it out. It's just interesting to see what could possibly happen. We don't know a lot of things. Yeah, okay, you're right, Coach Mando. Now I'm getting some tweets saying that not gonna lie, the lineup is pretty underwhelming without Pizarro and Carranza, but Lewis Morgan's gonna play, so that's exciting. So here we go. Orlando Sentinel. No, so far I haven't seen anything, but I'm sure we'll have something. Austin's coming back on. Let's see what Austin has to say. Breaking news, Austin. What's up?
McDonough is on TV talking right now. I obviously can't listen to what they're saying, but thank you, Coach Mando. The game's definitely on. I don't think that it's canceled. I think that is some kind of error on the technical aspect when it comes to Twitter or MLS.
Could be.
There's no graphic of the lineup. I'm going to keep looking.
Yeah, I just saw a couple of tweets. One of them said, I'm sorry, I keep saying this. I'm sorry, I keep going. Oh, it's on Instagram.
The lineup?
The Inter Miami lineup is officially on Instagram.
Okay, perfect.
So we got.
Please don't tell me we're right.
Robles, Figueroa, Reyes, Sweat, Trapp, Ulloa. I can't say his name.
You're right. Ulloa. There you
go. Nealis, Ambrose, Morgan, Pellegrini, and Agudelo. Subs you can get, which makes subs. You got Shea as a sub, Lee Nguyen as a sub, Lee Gann as a sub, Pizarro as a sub, De La Garza as a sub, McCarthy, Chandler, Powell, Lillard. Yeah, it's on. Yeah, guys, the Instagram on the Inter Miami Instagram has their lineup out already.
Yeah, I see it. I have it on it's on their story.
Yes, it's on their story.
If I screenshot and email it to you, think we could throw it up there?
No.
Okay.
Last time we did that.
Okay, no problem.
Last time up, I left. But I can do one thing. Hopefully, let's try this. Check this out, guys. We're doing new things as a
Instagram story. Inter Miami lineup. Yep, we just checked that out. Coach Mondo, thanks for the follow over on the Twitter account. Wow. Okay. I'm a little shocked at this, obviously.
A little bit.
McDonough's out here talking. I don't know how close he's been in contact with Diego Alonso. I'm sure it's been major. There's been a lot of communication there, but he's definitely at home. They're at Lockhart now, having this live show.
He's at Lockhart. Okay.
Yeah, they have some kind of live show thing. So
got it. So he's not even there.
No, he's not in Orlando.
Yeah, I'm looking for that photo on Twitter right now, so I can.
Okay, now I just got a notification from the Inter Miami app saying swipe to discover our starting 11 for today's match.
There you go.
So it's definitely confirmed. We were.
Yeah, so right. That lineup is confirmed. That lineup's confirmed. But we got Austin over here freaking out. Like, he's like,
I don't understand why Pizarro's not playing. If McDonough is on TV saying anything about that, let me know. Anybody who has the opportunity to listen over on my TV 33, let us know. Drop more comments so we can discuss.
Again, Pizarro not playing is a smart move. You might not like it, but it's a smart move. Not having him play just gives him the opportunity to continue. It doesn't hurt him. It doesn't hurt us or him, because if the team is playing well, then he's resting and he's gonna come in. Like, there's not a doubt that he's gonna come in.
No, I agree. Yeah,
he's gonna come in. It's just a matter of waiting and making sure that he, him and all the other ones that aren't playing, that usually are playing, is getting them back into game shape. I rather have Pizarro playing as a sub than him coming in at the beginning. And
I don't sub him on in the 60th minute though. Sub him on right after halftime.
For sure. And again, with the new rules for this tournament where you have more subs, how many subs you can get now? 7?
Five.
So with the new sub, with 5 subs, I'm sure that he's going to play. With the 5 subs, I'm sure that Breck Shade's going to play. These kind of guys are going to play. It's just about getting them ready to play. And I rather have them, like I said, it's going to be a 1-1 draw. To me, it's going to be a 1-1 draw because of that. I don't
see a lot of goal scoring, definitely not with the lineup that we put out.
Right. And so it's going to be one of those kind of like learning each other kind of moments.
Yeah.
And so that's why the first game is as exciting as it is. It's still an interesting one because you don't know exactly what's going to happen. And so I think he's playing it safe.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And Alonso, I mean, like I said, I praise the man. I think he's a football genius. I think he's really smart. He knows how to win. He's shown that. And he's definitely been involved in more than a couple of tournament-style any tournaments in general, whether it be in Mexico or wherever else. He's played in the CONCACAF Champions League. He's won it. He knows what this kind of tournament is like. Maybe there's something there. And
there is something going on. According to Franco Panizo, I can never say his name correctly, but official reason Pizarro was not starting is because of a minor injury, but he's expected to come off the bench.
Okay. Well, then good. You look out for his fitness, and that's important.
Yeah. The fact that they're playing a 3-4-3 is good.
I like it. I think it suited us very well, especially in DC. Yes. The 4-2-3-1 that Alonso has been known for, what he was known for at Monterrey, was also decent against LA. But I think that now with Sweat and Nealis so far out wide, there's no number 10. There's nobody coming in to play the ball with Ulloa and Trapp. So I think it'll be very important for the link up between Ulloa and Trapp out to the wings, whether it be up to Morgan and Pellegrini or to Sweat and Nealis. I think they're going to have to play a high line in order to keep on the front foot in this entire match.
Yes, it's going to be interesting. And again, we have not seen Orlando's lineup yet.
Yeah.
So MLS. Is it, or does Twitter know something we don't?
No, I don't think that this TV conversation that I'm kind of looking at would be as comfortable as it was.
If it was canceled?
If it was canceled.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah, we haven't heard anything yet. Nothing yet there. But it is interesting to see Pizarro not playing. But again, it's smart. It's the smart move, especially if he's injured. Like they're saying he's has a minor injury. It's important not to have him play right now.
Absolutely. No, it is smart. And the only other thing I'd be critical of, because if Pizarro was starting, he'd be on that left side instead of Pellegrini. The only thing I am critical of is Carranza not playing over Agudelo, but that is extremely reasonable considering Carranza we have no idea about, and he is also coming off injury. Agudelo is that proven MLS guy, so it makes sense. Personally, would have liked to see Carranza, but that's okay. Then now that you look at the lineup, it isn't as revolting as it seemed at first.
Yeah, you were triggered, man.
I was not happy, but it makes a lot of sense now. So Pizarro, see him off the bench, maybe Carranza too. Never know. But I think Lewis Morgan
the guards that come out too.
I think Lewis Morgan is going to be on the ball a lot. He's the one talent in this team I'm going to look at to be on the ball, go at defenders, and take a lot of shots. I think Lewis Morgan is going to be the guy.
Yeah, it's interesting. It is interesting to know that again, we have only 2 games to talk about prior to this.
Yeah,
but these teams are really evenly matched.
I agree. I think it is a more even game than I've given it credit for, but our talent to me is superior to theirs. We're still waiting on their lineup. That's another thing to note.
But
with Nani and Dwyer,
it's safe to assume Nani and Dwyer are playing.
Yeah,
but Miami, like I said, and they have, they've had kind of the same amount of goals conceded. Pretty much, they actually had the same amount of goals. They've both scored only once in the season so far. The 2 games that they played. So that's also important to note. They haven't been scoring as well as they should have. Again, Dwyer has been hurt.
Correct. Yeah.
And we all know that Dwyer scores when he wants, as the song goes. So you don't know. But yeah, again, we're just waiting on Orlando's lineup to take a look at it. But the preview lineup that they have up there, the provisional lineup, has Dwyer up top, Nani at the left, Mueller at the right, Panera at the middle, Mendez in the middle back right, left, then Urso on the right, Moutinho in the left.
Yeah.
Jensen in the left back as well. Antonio Carlos in the right and Juan in the right as well. And then Galezi. So that's the projected lineup they have going. If that's the projected lineup to go with, that's a solid lineup against the lineup we have on right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be well balanced. 1-1.
I don't know about well balanced.
I think it'll be. I don't know. I trust Figo, Reyes, Sweat, and Nealis to defend well. So, and I think that I honestly believe we have a better midfield. Trapp and Ulloa played very, very, very well the first two games. They're our midfield pairing to definitely look forward to. I don't know much about the Orlando midfield, but I know that I have taken notes on them a couple of times. So if I could find those, I'll let you know what I think about them. What I did before.
Yeah, it's also really awkward. It's really interesting that their lineup hasn't come out yet, and the game starts in 20 minutes.
Well, the thing is about American sports, it never starts on time. Look for
but here's the thing: I've covered enough MLS to have the lineups are way before that, and
I agree.
And the writers would have it.
Yeah, so the lineup not being out is great.
If Franco has the Miami lineup but doesn't have the Orlando lineup, there's a reason for that, which is interesting because usually they're given at the same time.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
It's one sheet with both lineups. So that's what to me is interesting because we don't have that Orlando side, but we do have the Miami side out. So again, it's just one of those weird moments that you don't know what to talk about because there's no lineup yet.
Here's the notes I had in Orlando. It was a scrappier style of play. This was from the first show when we talked about their first two games. I noted that they had a scrappier style of play, which is very true. I know that they're a lot more physical and they get into tackles for sure.
Yeah.
Midfield lacks a little bit, but their defense has been solid. Very physical team. Looked to take shots from just inside or outside the 18. I don't think that they were having a lot of success getting in between defenders, but then again, there was no Dwyer or Nani, so that could be totally scrapped.
Yeah, the one goal they got the last two games
was Mueller. It was a good goal.
Yes,
it was a great goal. He came on as a sub and cut in between the defenders, and that was his goal. That's where they scored from. So they're definitely going to look towards that. They're probably going to not take as many shots from outside the box as we have seen in the first two games. Yeah. I think that if we're able to keep a line that is intact and we don't allow players to get in behind like that, and we force shots from the outside, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
But with talents like Nani and Dwyer, it'll be a lot more difficult than only having to worry about Chris Mueller. But hey, it is what it is.
The New York Times assistant editor Andrew Doss just tweeted out saying that the game is actually going to kick off at 8:23.
It's very MLS.
So that could be also a reason why we don't see the lineup yet. Again,
lineups are meant to come out an hour before?
Yes, and they should come out together. So that's interesting. Anybody have any thoughts, ideas on why this lineup isn't out yet? Is the game actually canceled? Because it still says canceled on Twitter.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's funny because Orlando keeps tweeting.
Oh, here we go.
Right now.
Here we go.
Came out?
No. So someone tweeted, someone at MLS might want to get on the horn to Twitter. Someone then responded, no guarantee the algorithm will listen. Google's knowledge graph has similar problems with canceled and rescheduled games. So there's something in the algorithm with the rescheduled game. MLS then responded, the official account responded, our friends at Twitter are working on a fix. So the game is not canceled.
Okay. Okay.
That is just some technical issue.
There you go. Okay, so we have the answer. Okay, so the answer is the game is not canceled, according to the MLS Twitter account. Orlando, on the other hand, keeps posting fun videos, and then a We Are Here video, and then another photo video about tonight's stage, but yet no lineup. And then people are destroying them. Like, this isn't the lineup. Where's the lineup? Lineup. Post the lineup. So
I don't get it. I don't understand why the lineup's not out. This is not like anything we're used to, for sure.
This really is. This isn't very Orlando like. Orlando's always very good to it. Yeah, it looks like they are going to play. Julia Pohl of the Orlando Sentinel is out there right now, and she tweeted out a photo of them warming up. So the game's going on. The game isn't canceled.
We still got 40 minutes to game time. I want to see this Orlando lineup before we head out of here.
I don't want to stay here until for another 40 minutes.
Well, no, I agree. I really want to see this lineup.
Yeah, the lineup is important. Unfortunately, we gotta. I don't know. We gotta keep waiting.
We can't even see Pizarro's pink hair to start off the game, man.
That's okay. It's not a big deal, bro. You're gonna get his lineup. You're gonna get him in like the second half or the first half.
Do you think that they've been nourished enough with those $65 meals?
Oh man. With those burgers?
I don't even.
Miami put out the lineup just now, officially on Twitter.
Officially.
Nice.
Okay.
But Orlando is nowhere to be found. Interesting. Maybe something's going on in Orlando. Maybe they don't have the complete team yet. We don't know. But anyways, you guys have any comments, questions out there on the Twitter world or YouTube world while you're listening to us? That you want us to touch on that we haven't touched on about the game coming up at 8:23 on ESPN. As we've talked about extensively, Pizarro is not starting today due to a minor injury, but is expected to play today, especially since we do have the new rules have 5 subs.
5 subs. Yeah, I like it. I think the 5 subs is a good addition, personally. Watching it a lot in Premier League, I think that managers are able to use the 5 subs in a very good way to the end of games when games are almost over and you know they're going a certain way. You're allowed to put on these other players and preserve more legs, technically. And make sure a lot more people can be possibly fit instead of having somebody go 95 minutes every single.
It's important. Yeah, it's important to know we did just get I am on Twitter, so my head's tilted because I am on Twitter. But Ian Hess put it out on Twitter that Pizarro's on the bench, but that could also be because he's out there getting worked on to get back to the bench, especially since the game doesn't start for another 30 to 40 minutes. So I wouldn't put too much weight on that tweet. So just in case people are listening to right now, like, oh my gosh, he's on the bench. He's gonna be there. He's probably just getting taped or whatever it is. It's a minor injury, from what we're looking at. It's a minor injury, and it's part of. It's interesting that he's injured already, which makes me wonder why he's already injured. But at the same time, there's nothing you can do about that.
What? Somebody responded to Ian saying McDonough said he would be subbed on. So I guess in that live show that we were talking about, McDonough stated.
He probably mentioned it for sure.
Yeah, I would assume that they.
Yeah, again, like I said, I've seen this happen plenty of times, especially when a player isn't starting. He has a minor injury. He is getting worked on. He is going to be taped or whatever it is he needs to do, and he's probably not trying to aggravate the injury, whatever it is. We don't know the extent of the injury. We do know it's a minor injury, but we don't know where. So he's probably not on the bench because he's probably getting treatment to get back on the bench. So that should not be a big deal to fans, because it is what it is. I'm excited about that. But again, you mentioned one of the things we haven't touched on in the last hour that we've been on is that we did have a striker head home for personal reasons.
No I don't know if it was COVID related. We know he tested negative, but we don't know if it was a family member who tested positive or somebody that went back home and things like that. But Robbie Robinson was sent home.
Yes.
They talked about it. They said that it'd be okay to go. They just listed his personal reasons. Nobody needs to know that information. It's just worth noting that he was sent home.
Yes.
He'd probably have gotten the start today if we knew that Agudelo. Now that we know Agudelo is starting, I'm assuming that they would rather have Robinson start.
Yes.
If Carranza wasn't. Look, he's a young kid and just coming out of college. He'd be a senior now in college. His first two performances weren't great, but they were better. They weren't better than you would like for a guy coming from the super draft to be slotted into an expansion team right away. Couldn't have expected much more.
Right.
Robinson, he's a big guy too, very physical. Usually a lot better on the ball than what we saw, but it would be a really good addition to have him for this tournament. Unfortunately, like we said, he was sent home, but all the best to him. There's obviously more important things in football, and we just hope that everything is okay.
Yeah, and it's important to know, again, going back, because this seems like what everyone's talking about now. It's important to go back talking about Pizarro is that, like we mentioned, or like I mentioned earlier in the show, this is going to be a slow game. People are going to be tired. They're going to be fatigued. Bringing in a fresh Pizarro.
It's not cold outside.
Right, but they're still going to be fatigued. Oh, yeah, okay, I get it. It's going to be
hot. It's hot, yeah.
So bringing in a fresh Pizarro in the second half to start off, huge difference for this game.
Maybe even Carranza too.
Yeah, that could be, changing that up, even bringing in some bringing in Carranza, like you said, that will be probably the game changer for Miami. Because if they can't find their rhythm in the first half, you expect to stay the same. Expect the lineup to stay the same in the first half because they're going to try to figure this out. But if they don't get this figured out, if Diego Alonso doesn't get this figured out in the first half, I have no doubt in my mind he's going to put in Pizarro in to start the second half. Then you're going to have a fresh new guy coming in there, the way that he knows how to play best, and that could be the difference between a win and a loss. Yeah,
you're very right. So that fatigue could come with the 70% humidity, feeling like 93 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Well, I just looked at the Orlando temperature. That is okay, the game starts in 20 minutes. You know what? Sunset is at 8:26 p.m. Orlando time.
Yeah.
The game starts at 23. I think they're trying to get it to where the sun's going down, and
that could be that could also be the reason why they also
have a lot more versatility when it comes to this because there's no game after it today.
Yes.
Because that game was postponed. No Nashville, no Chicago, no more Group A action. Tomorrow there's more Group A action. I'm pretty sure. I think it's New York City versus Philly, which is a game to watch. We want Philly to lose, so we can beat them.
We as you.
it would help us in the standings because if we can, Philly can lose and we can end up beating Philly. That'd be a 6-point advantage. But Philly is an extremely strong team, but so is New York City. They're both notoriously very strong in MLS. So that's another game to look for tomorrow. That's 9 a.m. and then at 8 p.m. tomorrow as well. There's a Montreal and New England game in Group C at 8 p.m. So, no lineups from Orlando, huh?
No lineup for Orlando. Orlando has decided not to release their lineup. They're just going to come out there with 11 Florida men playing.
I'm
dumbfounded. I've never had this happen in my life. I've never seen a lineup not show up on time for a game. There's literally no news.
None. I did just see news from an athletic writer, Sam Steskal. 4 Nashville players who were waiting follow-up tests for COVID all came up positive. So now it's 9 players
for Nashville.
Okay, 9 players for Nashville are now positive for Corona.
Listen, you heard it here first. Nashville is going to drop out of the tournament.
I don't see any reason why they wouldn't, considering Dallas dropped out with 10 players having it, 9 players. there's no threat. I mean, that's way more than it should be.
Again, don't forget, Austin. It comes back to the point of if you have 11 or 10 or 9 players that can't play for at least 2 weeks,
you can't play.
Where are you going to find those other 11 players?
Yeah, no, you're right.
There's no way. There's 9. Okay, if there's 9 Nashville players that have the virus, Nashville doesn't. This isn't a football team; it's a soccer team.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know how many. I think that they were very strict on how many players were allowed to be brought into Orlando. But with 9 players gone, that's more than enough to know that roster depth is lacking heavily.
Yeah.
And you can't have the now 7 or 8 subs that are allowed. I think it's actually 10 now. But yeah, no, you can't have that. You can't have 10 subs on the bench.
No, you can't. And you're gonna hear it tonight. You're probably gonna hear it tomorrow morning. Nashville's gonna probably drop out of the tournament, and then nothing's gonna change, really.
Well, I think that you would, after New York City play at 9 a.m., then I will be convinced that no one in other groups are going to change. But with a 5-team group and a 3-team group, it just makes too much sense to have 4 and 4, whether it's regular, whether it's Western Conference or Eastern Conference, it doesn't matter. Find a way to figure out the schedule. But that game's at 9 a.m., so it kind of puts MLS at a huge time constraint there. I don't know. We'll have to see because Nashville can't play. There's no way Nashville can play.
Yeah, it's interesting. Also, it's interesting to note that Miami is already out there playing. Oh, Orlando's lineup out officially. 21 seconds ago. Let's go. You ready for it?
It's me.
All right. Dom Dwyer and Nani up front. You got Mueller on the right. You got Orso in the middle. You got Rosell in the middle. Pinera on the right. Then in the back, you got Juan. You got Antonio Carlos. You got Jensen. And you got Moutinho and Galezi in a goal. Exactly probably what they tweeted out before.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah, Mad Hot Media has a good point. Maybe they could bring in some academy players, Nashville. But at what point are you gonna? At what point are you gonna put these guys at risk to get more?
I think. I mean, Dallas didn't do it. We know that Dallas didn't do it. And they just got sent home. The thing is, Mad Hot Media, I think, even if that was a possibility, which I don't think it is, and that's strictly because MLS was only allowing a capped number of people per team, per media, everybody was set to a number of people that they could bring to Orlando and bring them inside the bubble. They're not allowed to bring anybody else that was on they're not allowed to bring anybody else that wasn't on that initial roster sheet for who's coming to Orlando and being put into the bubble.
Yeah.
It's not allowed. So that even if the academy player thing was, something that they could look at, it wouldn't be smart because you're just exposing more people. But it's just not possible due to MLS rules and regulations about the tournament.
Yeah. Interesting to note that the formation for Orlando, let's go back a little bit to talk about Orlando. Now it's finally available. It's actually a 4-2-3-1. Is that even a thing?
Yeah. So
that's a weird one. But that's okay? So on MLS's Match Center, that's the formation. But
who's playing in behind the striker?
Behind Dwyer, Pereira.
And is Dwyer playing on a wing with Mueller?
No, Dwyer's playing up top by himself.
Nani's on a wing.
Nani's in the wing. Mueller's in the other one. Then you got Pereira in the middle.
And Dwyer up top. That makes a lot of sense. Orlando on their Twitter account posted like a deep 4-4-2 with
that's what I'm saying. Orlando on Twitter is a different lineup than the one I see on the MLS Match Center, which is interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Miami's is more organized for sure. Again, I'm
not sure what happened with the PR team in Orlando. That is messed up.
No, I'm sure they're doing their best. I'm sure they're doing good. It probably something happened with trying to hold back the lineup as late as possible. So people like us weren't complaining. But interesting to know AJ De La Garza is actually on the bench today because he wasn't on the bench the first 2 games.
That is interesting.
Interesting to put that out there. Also, obviously,
man, this is gonna be a fun game. This is going to be an interesting game. Like I said, we'll be live tweeting on 90 Minutes Strong.
Yeah, we'll be on live. We'll be live on 90 Minutes Strong, tweeting throughout the game. We're gonna come back on after the game for post game reactions.
Won't be as long as this.
It won't be an hour and 10 minutes. Probably gonna be 30 minutes. We'll just talk for a little bit and call it a night. So especially since it's gonna be late at night and I need to sleep because I'm old. I'm not young like you. And so, but it's going to be an exciting game. Like we've been talking about it for the last hour. It's a historic game. It's the first time 2 MLS teams in Florida are playing against each other since the Fusion Mutiny days, which was forever ago. Yep. And yeah,
the last time we had an in-state rivalry was Rowdies and Strikers.
Right. Well, we had Mutiny in Miami.
But Rowdies and Strikers is more recent.
Yeah, Rowdies and Strikers. Yeah.
That was what Strikers.
Yeah, I remember covering the Strikers back when they were back then, and one of the games, I literally was having pizza with Freddie Adu because their bus broke down, and so they were just waiting at the locker room. They were just waiting in the stadium, and I'm like, oh, and I'm finishing up on a deadline, and all I see is like Freddie Adu come up because y'all got food.
Of course, man.
We're like, we got food. Come here. So we just sat down with Freddie. So that was cool. But yeah, no, the Rowdies for sure, Rowdies Strikers, but nothing as big and high of importance as this. Like I haven't seen people talk about Inter Miami as much as I have so far. I'll go off on a limb and say that even this game is gonna be bigger than the Galaxy game would have been in the first game in March.
Really?
Yeah, I think this game's bigger for them, not only because it's the first game back and they're looking for a win, but it's against Orlando. The Lakers, the Galaxy game, it was important. It was their first ever home game.
Well, it was LAFC to start off, and then Galaxy
at home. The first
about the home game. Okay, yeah.
The first home game would have been Galaxy.
It
would have been important because of Beckham and all that. But this game is a lot more important, I think, to Miami to set the precedent. You know, they've been talking a lot. Miami, listen, both Miami and Orlando. I'm not putting anyone like not at fault. They've both been talking a lot of smack. Now it's time to put your mouth, like you put your money where your mouth is, or whatever the saying is. Like now you gotta nut up or shut up.
This is it. This is the game. This is the game.
Wow. Yeah, like this game is the game that you got to play. You got to win this game. If you're Miami, all those jokes that you've been hearing for the last 2-3 years, go out this game and show them, like, listen, no, we're not just a little Mickey, like we're not just a little game, like we're not just a Fort Lauderdale FC team. We're Miami, and we're gonna come here and win. And Orlando got to back up all their trash talk,
which they haven't done since they have been in the league. So
it's gonna be one of those interesting games. Miami's going to use their white, as we mentioned. Orlando probably will be using their purple.
Purple, yeah, for sure.
So interesting things to know. But yeah, guys, Austin, unless you have anything else, man, I think we're probably
it's 8:00. I'm ready to tune into ESPN. I don't know about you.
Yeah, so we're gonna wrap up right now. We'll be back. Like, if you want to follow us along on Twitter, we'll be like, both of us will be tweeting back to back, but it doesn't matter who it is. We're all both on. We are 90 minutes strong, so it's either me or Austin. So don't go attacking one of us thinking it's the other.
The more Miami positive tweets will probably be me.
Probably, yes. The more realistic ones will be me. The more optimistic ones will be Austin. It's simple. It's simple. No need to even ask. Hey, is this Pedro Austin? Miami 20-0, Austin. So follow us on Twitter at 90 Minutes Strong. It's right there in the bottom. We do have Facebook and Instagram. We haven't really gotten to those back yet.
Soon.
But soon we'll be back on those platforms as well. But for now, Twitter is the main form of communication with us. So yeah, we'll be heading out of here. It's 8:00. We're gonna get ready for the game. Be ready for once it's over, we'll jump right back on and talk for another 20-30 minutes in post-game show, and we'll go from there.
All right. Appreciate you guys coming by. 1-0 Inter. Vamos Miami, baby.
1-1. 1-1. All right. Take care, guys. End broadcast.